everyone. Happy Valentine's Day. Thanks for tuning in. I'm Taylor Hanson, and this is my co-host, Cameron Hussein.
Taylor, there was a ton of big news in Hollywood this weekend with the Oscars.
Yeah, it's a big week.
Definitely. Yeah, definitely a big week. We start off with Parasite.
Yeah, and so Parasite, I mean, it was absolutely amazing. It took home the top 4 awards, and the biggest award was Best Picture, which was huge because it made history. The fact that this movie is a non-English speaking film, I mean, it's in Korean, and it was amazing to see the entire cast up there so proud of this film that they've created. I mean, that was a big moment for everyone. I'm sure that was there.
Yeah, the thing that really stood out to me is just like, it was an international film, and to see like the Oscars spread to a global kind of reach, and it was cool, and to just see, like you said, that the nominees going up and just them being so humble about it. They were so shocked and just so grateful for it, and it was cool to see how proud they were.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Another big winner of the night was Joaquin Phoenix for his part in The Joker.
Yeah, that was huge. I was so happy that he won.
Yeah, and I mean, his speech, I mean, as you can see here, his speech was a little interesting. He touched on a couple different points, about human rights and just how we should all treat each other equally. And so it was really impactful, and it got, a couple of mixed reviews on social media. People were just kind of unsure what to think of it, but I think he definitely deserved that award.
Yeah, no, and I thought he set the bar really high with how well Heath Ledger had played the Joker, and him following up the Joker having its own movie, and he definitely hit that bar and was rewarded for it.
Yeah. Aside from that, we had Brad Pitt, we had Eminem, that giant surprise performance. Yeah. It was so great. I think the Oscars this year couldn't have been better.
Yeah, and well, like you said, today is Valentine's Day, and so that's kind of the theme for this weekend. And Valentine's Day cost. Do you have any plans with your husband? Have you spent any money?
I've definitely spent money. I don't know. I haven't opened any gifts yet, so I don't know how much money you spent. But I think this definitely is the season to spend a lot of money on other people, right? So, aside from Christmas, this is a time to give to those you love.
Yeah. No, I totally agree. And I think it's crazy that this year it's setting records for like spending, and so it's crazy to see how much people are spending on others, not just their significant others, but family members, friends, co-workers, and things like that.
I guess we could take a look at these costs. Oh, right here you can see, the average spender during Valentine's Day is, they spend almost $200, $196. Then you can see the breakdown right there with $30 on family and then $14 on friends and so on. I think it's really funny. We were noticing a little bit earlier when we were looking at these numbers, you don't see the overall cost for spending on your significant other.
Exactly, yeah. And I think maybe that's for the better, so they don't know how much you're spending on them, and so they don't need to know how much they're spending on you. And so it's crazy to see the top spenders, the millennials, are spending the most, followed by Gen X, baby boomers, and the silent generation.
That's just crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy to see.
Wow.
Okay, we are in the kitchen of Mandy Merriman, also known as Baking with Blondie.
Thank
Mandy,
you.
Thanks for being with us.
Thanks for coming here. I'm excited to have you.
Yeah, so tell us what we have going on here today.
Okay, so I love themed cakes, especially cakes that revolve around holidays, things like that.
Ditto.
And Valentine's Day is a perfect time to just bust out all the sprinkles and all the buttercream and just go crazy. And also to just find a way to celebrate with those you love, with having like a cute cake on the table at your family dinner for that.
It's a labor of love, right?
It
really is.
Absolutely.
Okay, so what are we doing with the sprinkles?
Okay, so I'm really excited about this cake. This has one of my favorite decorating techniques for cakes, and it's the sprinkle roll cake. So we're gonna roll the cake.
Sounds a little high tech.
So, to kind of preface what we're doing here is I frosted a cake here. What I did is I stacked it, I crumb coated it, I froze it, so the cake layers are frozen on the inside. So that way when you pick them up, they're not squishing, they're not moving around.
It won't just fall apart.
Yeah, it holds its shape, which is key. And so what I did is I just added on a little layer of buttercream on the outside. It doesn't have to be pretty, it doesn't have to be perfect because you're rolling this thing in buttercream. So when I roll my cakes in sprinkles, I love to use these non-perils. They're like the little baby circle ones.
Yes.
And you can get them at Walmart. They're super inexpensive, really easy to find.
Okay.
And you're gonna need a cookie sheet. So what I'm gonna do,
You're dumping those out.
we're just dumping them right in here, and
Oh my gosh.
it makes a little bit of a mess, but I promise
I feel like
it's
this
okay.
would be fun with like your little boys, right? You have them
Oh,
in the
they
kitchen.
would love this. They love doing things like this. And so anyway,
Sprinkles
it also
everywhere.
makes them nervous because they're like, well, you dumped it out. But it's all contained in the cookie sheet,
Right.
which is key as well.
That's what this is for.
So
Okay.
what I did is when I frosted my cake, I have an 8-inch cake board and I have a 6-inch cake board underneath it.
Okay.
So that when I lift it up and separate it,
Ah.
it's not, I don't have to touch the cake.
Right.
So I'll show you what it looks like.
Easy
so I have some
transfer.
tape on the bottom. I have this right here. It's on both
Sneaky.
sides.
Okay.
So that way when you hold your cake, you're not
Right.
like damaging it or anything.
Okay.
So what I'm gonna do is hold it and roll it and press into it. And what it does is it actually catches all
Oh
those
my
sprinkles
goodness.
at the same time.
Just
So
like glue.
I know,
It
right?
just catches.
And then you just give it a little shake, give it
A little
another
shake.
foundation again, and you're gonna roll it again. Do you wanna roll it? Do you
Oh,
wanna
yeah,
practice?
okay. I'm nervous.
You got
Maddie,
this.
She makes it look so easy. Ready?
Perfect.
Woo!
Oh, you're rolling it like a pro.
Rolling.
There you go.
Rolling.
So once you get it all rolled in and all the things are covered, thank you, you did awesome. You're a pro now.
Thank you.
You have confidence
Been working on
in
it.
Cake Land. So pretend like
look
this
at
is
that.
perfectly covered in sprinkles.
Basically.
I'm gonna actually put it this way because that's the
It makes it
original
look
way
so
it was.
easy. It actually wasn't that bad.
No, it was all
I've
good.
seen this technique from your videos before, and I've always been kind of
Been like,
intimidated.
wait.
I can't roll a cake, but it's not that bad.
It's not that bad. I
Okay.
even did it with rainbow colors once, and I rolled it in the rainbow.
Oh,
it was
fun.
pretty
That is so
intense.
perfect. Okay.
Loved it. So what we're gonna do is pretend like we're putting this in the freezer. We're gonna just let it chill
gonna
in the
shift.
freezer for a little bit. We're gonna shift to the cake.
Alrighty.
This one is already on its cute Valentine's Day cake
Oh, I
stand.
love it. All
And-
about a good cake stand,
I know,
right?
And so what I did is I froze it so that it's really, really hard, and then you're gonna go around it with a cake knife all the way around, and it just lifts off the top. So
How
that was
flat
the top.
that is.
Nice and flat, ready
That
to go.
is so even.
And what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make like a cute little like shell pattern around it
Cute.
and turn it as we go, and I'm gonna cover the whole top of it. And that
Okay.
way it kind of covers over that top if we need to do that
Okay,
as well.
and as home bakers, we look at this and we think, okay, this is intimidating. How is she making this look so easy?
That's right.
And you have a new cookbook that just came out within the last year, right?
I do. Oh my
Tell us
goodness.
about it.
Okay, it's called Cake Confidence, and it really is what the
Perfectly
title
embodies.
says.
Yep.
I just want to build that cake confidence for home bakers, for professional bakers, for those who just want to get in the kitchen and make a birthday cake for your kid,
Totally.
or for those who love. I wanted to be able to say, you know what, you can make this cake, and with these tips and tricks, you're going to easily be able to do that.
Okay, wow. That is what every home baker needs to hear. I am telling you.
I've got you guys. I've
If
got
you want to
this.
find out more about this cookbook, you can head over to your website.
Absolutely. BakingWithBlondie.com has
Okay.
everything there, tutorials, recipes, tips and tricks to get you right on your way.
Or your social media at Baking with
Blondie.
Blondie.
Yep.
Okay.
Right
That's
there.
so perfect. Well, awesome. We are going to finish up this cake, and we are going to eat it and love it and enjoy Valentine's Day. And if you don't have anything going on for Valentine's Day, you can check out her website for more recipes and tips and tricks, and have a wonderful Valentine's Day.
Thank you. You as well.
Yeah, and these little cake toppers.
Oh yeah, go ahead and put this on top.
All right.
Perfect. Look at you go.
Perfect.
Love it.
Woo! So beautiful.
So fun.
I'm here with Dr. Richard Gelb from Timpanogos Regional Hospital in Orem, and we're going to talk a little bit about Heart Month and what heart disease entails. So, Dr. Gelb, can you give us a little bit of an explanation about what heart disease is?
Heart disease is a wide-ranging series of things. It includes things like coronary artery disease, heart failure, arrhythmias, congenital heart disease, and other less common acquired heart problems. When we talk about heart disease, we're mostly talking about coronary artery disease. That's the most common form of heart disease in this country.
Okay, and what are the symptoms for that?
Coronary disease kind of develops kind of like an iceberg. It's under the surface. By the time people start having symptoms, it's usually fairly late in the course. But some of the symptoms you'd be concerned about are chest pain, shortness of breath, palpitations, dizziness, and of course those symptoms can be due to a lot of other things as well. It's not always due to heart disease, but the classic symptom of advanced coronary disease is chest pain, especially with exertion.
So, with it being National Heart Month, why do you think it's so important to raise awareness about, heart disease?
So for me, every month is Heart Month, and so I think that we always pick February because it's also Valentine's Day,
It makes
which is
sense,
nice,
right?
But I think that we should always make people aware of the signs and symptoms of heart disease. We'd like to make sure that everybody knows what it's like to have a heart attack or a stroke and what they should look for, especially in our older population, because if we can get to these patients faster and treat them faster, we can often develop much better outcomes for them if we treat their disease in an earlier stage.
Yeah, and what do you think are some things that most people don't know about heart disease?
I think most people don't realize how suddenly it can strike. And people who have heart attacks and strokes, it seems to always happen at the least opportune time, often during times of stress.
Yeah.
Never a convenient time to have a heart attack.
No.
Unfortunately, and so people discover they're having heart attacks or they're having heart disease, unfortunately, on their way to the emergency room, and that's the first sign that they have of it. And that's the tragedy, is that a lot of those patients, in my opinion, have not been paying attention to the risk factors, like their blood pressure, their weight, their diet, their smoking history, and if they would have been taking better care of themselves, it's the same principle as changing the oil in your car or rotating your tires. If you do that on a regular basis, you're much less likely to have engine trouble down the road.
Yeah, and so how can you do that? How can you, get checked on a regular basis, or what would you recommend?
Well, I think that if you're under 40, you have very little to worry about. The incidence of coronary disease in the young population is very low, unless you have very particular high risk factors in your family or genetic risk factors. In older patients, I think that a good thorough checkup is a good place to start. Make sure your blood pressure is okay. Get some routine blood work. We have a scan now called the coronary calcium score, which is a very quick and easy CT scan that you can get. I think the hospital charges $69 to have it done. And that's for people over the age of 40 who have at least one risk factor for coronary disease, which is a family history or high blood pressure. And if they're concerned about their heart, or if they're having some unusual chest pains, that's a pretty good test. If it comes back 0, that's a very reassuring number.
Definitely.
Whereas if it comes back elevated, then further evaluation might be a good idea.
Yeah, it's better to know early, right?
Always.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Geld, for all this great information. It's good to know, especially with it being National Heart Month. So thank you so much.
Still looking for something to do this Valentine's Day? Coming up, we'll show you a unique Valentine's Day date idea 2 sisters have come up with.
And coming up, I'll be playing cards with Maddie and Taylor's husbands, and we'll be getting into the Valentine's Day deeds.
My mother was always very familiar with her neighborhood, but one day she stopped at the stop sign for much longer than usual, and she didn't know whether she should go forward or turn, and she wasn't even really sure where she was at. It was very unsettling for her.
I felt so much better after my son told me, "Mom, I don't want you to worry or be afraid. I'll be there for you and we'll figure it out."
Sometimes the things we do or say can make others feel hurt,
Such a weirdo.
excluded, or isolated. Everything you say and do creates an impact.
How am I supposed to save the whole world?
You can't think about saving the world. You have to think about saving one person.
Because of you, someone's entire life can change. You don't have to be a superhero to have a positive impact.
Friends?
Friends.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. This is a serious problem, but one we can solve. Visit feedingamerica.org to help. Together we can solve hunger. Together we're feeding America.
So I am here with Lisa and Denise. They're both sisters and they started Let's Picnic. So guys, tell me a little bit about your service.
Well, Let's Picnic is, as its name states, it's a pop-up picnic service. And basically what we do is offer an alternative to the traditional date and movie and dinner date. Because we know people here are craving for fresh, unique ideas for dates. And so that's basically what we do. You just set up a date, a time, a location, and we'll show up, set up a beautiful picnic with teepee, food, Polaroid camera, board games, music, lights, and all you have to do is show up, create a memory, enjoy it, and we'll take care of all the setup and cleanup afterwards.
That is so fun. This is like such an awesome idea. Do you feel like it's been really fun to do this kind of around Provo and the rest of the Utah Valley where there's a lot of young couples, people getting engaged?
There's like a big market for it because people really are like always thinking of something new to do.
Something unique, something unique, and it's a fresh idea. So here where there's a lot of proposals, bridal showers, I think it's the best place to do it.
Also, something that we have noticed is that there really isn't anything else like this in the area. So it's really a new thing to try and enjoy with your loved ones.
So what's your guys' favorite part about setting up the picnics?
Maybe the decor, like thinking of new ways to make it look
the
cute.
Creative aspect.
Yeah.
Seeing people's reactions when they find out the surprise.
Or
even before that, even before like seeing their faces and of them actually enjoying the picnic, is just setting it up, knowing that someone will have this memory around our experience. So it's just really fun to
all the planning,
to do that. Yeah.
That's awesome. So if people are interested in having this for their own date, where can they check out? What's your guys' platforms?
They can find us both on Facebook and Instagram. We are most active on Instagram, so they should hit us up at @let's_picnic.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me in setting up this awesome teepee.
Yeah, anytime.
And picnic. Yay!
Hey, what's up? I'm here at the Rubber Residence to talk to my co-hosts Maddie and Taylor's husbands, Josh and Reese, about Valentine's Day and what it means to them. Let's go in and talk to them. What's up, guys? Josh?
Hey, what's going on,
Reese,
man? How are you, brother?
Good to see you. Good to see you. What are you guys playing? We playing cards?
We got some Go Fish going on right now.
Got some Go Fish?
Yeah, you wanna hop
Sweet.
in?
Yeah, can I hop in? Is
Yeah,
that cool?
you got it.
So I just have some questions about Valentine's Day and what it means to you guys. But before I start, let's play. Let's start the game. Josh, you want to start us off?
Let's do it. Anyone got any nines?
So my first question for you guys, since we're all guys, what does Valentine's mean as a guy?
I mean, Valentine's Day is tricky because there's a lot of pressure. I feel like especially for guys, especially when you're married, because you have to make it like, it doesn't have to be the biggest deal. It's not like an anniversary or anything like that, but you have to make sure that they feel special enough that they can tell their friends, that they can tell, people at work, whatever, that they had a good Valentine's Day.
Josh, how about you?
Yeah, no, I agree a lot with that, actually. I was just thinking about the kind of pressure that's kind of put on the guy, to plan a good date out or have some good activities, some good dinner plan. It can be kind of stressful, but it's also a good opportunity to be able to just take out the person you like and tell them how much they mean to you and how grateful you are for them, even if it is just a simple dinner, Sometimes it doesn't have to be some extravagant thing.
I got a list from both of your wives about their top 3 gift ideas. Top 3, what is it?
Top 3. Okay. First would be, so I am really into videography or whatever, so probably making her like a quick little video. Then something, I hope this isn't too like general, but something just like meaningful, so something like, like something I made or something like I did for her or something like that. Maybe not specifically like the gift or like a, something I went out and bought, but like something I did, I don't know. And then like just flowers.
Reese, wow, dude, you're the man. So we have Taylor's gifts, flowers, and then the first one was flowers, the third one was something sentimental, which is it's kind of like your first and second ones are a mix, and so I'll give it to you. And then the third one was more of not something that she wants as a gift, which was no candy.
Oh, that's true. That's true. Yeah. Well, I wasn't gonna get a kid. So.
Yeah.
Now you know.
Incredible job, my
Okay.
man.
Josh, let's redeem yourself.
This one's a little bit easier for me.
Good. Yeah.
She's already got one of them. We already got her one of her gifts. She got her hair done.
Okay.
Gift number 2, there's a necklace she's been wanting that she showed me on the interwebs. Gift number 3, I'm gonna go with a new pair of running shoes.
Okay.
Where am I at?
He knows her.
You were 1 for 3.
Dang it!
It's all right. You still have some time before tonight. I mean, Valentine's Day isn't over yet.
That's right.
But we have number 1, the necklace, a necklace with her name on it. 2, flowers. 3,
Okay.
AirPods.
And AirPods.
So if you can get to Best Buy before tonight.
Best Buy, see if we get some discounts.
Yeah.
I just get the old one.
First generation.
Yeah.
I think the theme that we've gotten from just this whole conversation is that the dates don't need to be expensive. It just needs to be something where you make memories and that you can have a good time and reflect back on and remember it throughout the years.
Oh, yeah.
But
Absolutely.
guys, I appreciate you guys coming on, talking to me, chatting me, giving me some advice and stuff.
Anytime.
Thank you, Reese.
Thanks for swinging by and playing some games with us,
Yeah,
man. It's
appreciate
real
it.
fish. Yeah.
So Taylor, we know what you want for Valentine's Day, but do you know what Reese wants for Valentine's Day?
You know, he didn't really tell me, so I had to get really creative with my ideas this year.
But coming up, we'll show you the top gifts for Valentine's Day to get that special someone.
Jacob has an autism spectrum disorder. I remember one moment after being at school all day, I remember him getting into the car just bawling and saying, "Mom, I have no friends. Why don't I have any friends?" It broke my heart. That was the moment when I realized that I needed to do something about this. I needed to make a difference in his life. And I knew that if I could help him find a friend, I could help teach other people that including people with differences is the right thing to do. That was the inspiration behind my nonprofit Score a Friend. Educating people to include people with differences is so important because when Jacob's included, he feels like he can succeed in life and he feels like he actually has a purpose. There was a time in my life where I was extremely homesick. I decided that I needed a pet. When I first saw a turtle, my heart was full. He jumped up and kissed me and jumped right into my arms. I immediately went up to the volunteers at the shelter and said, "I want him, he's gotta come home with me." Not anything but lonely. Every day with Turtle is a perfect day and keeps me company when I'm doing schoolwork. I like it when he jumps up on the table too. He is a veggie thief. He's an incredible companion and my best friend. Can't say that I've met anybody that doesn't love him too. When I adopted Turtle, I discovered all the things that make him unique. He's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly he's all pure love.
Valentine's Day isn't always sweet, and some zoos around the nation are helping with that.
Yeah, and there's actually 2 zoos in Texas, the El Paso Zoo and the San Antonio Zoo, who are letting you name a cockroach after your ex.
Oh my gosh, could you imagine
How
doing
crazy is that? Yeah, it's insane. And the El Paso Zoo is actually, they're feeding cockroaches to a meerkat, I guess their meerkat exhibit, and they did it last year, and so it was so popular that they decided to bring it back. And they let you do it for free, but they also accept donations.
I love that. They let you do it for free.
Yeah, and I know the zookeeper, after raising every $1,000 that is raised, he'll eat a cockroach, which is absolutely disgusting.
That's so disgusting.
I can't even imagine that. I can't even be in the same room as a cockroach.
But hey, it's something to laugh at,
Yeah.
you know? That's so
and in
funny.
San Antonio, they're actually doing one where you can pay $5 for a cockroach or $20 for a rat. And so, and they're gonna stream it on Facebook Live.
You can tag people.
Yeah, exactly. You can tag your ex. They're gonna give you a
You're
certificate.
like, hey, I named
tag
this
them.
after you.
Exactly.
Look at them eat the cockroach, or look at the cockroaches. That's so funny. That's a way to make Valentine's enjoyable for those people that want to get back at their ex.
It is. And I know the Bronx Zoo is doing something on the other end where they're allowing you to get a hissing cockroach, and that hissing cockroach just shows how love is forever. And so that's their kind of thing. And so it's
That's
just
so
really
creative.
interesting. Yeah, it's
I
awesome.
love that.
Yeah. All right. And so we'll show you what's coming up this weekend with, first off, the Living Legends, which is today and tomorrow at 7:30 p.m. at the DeJong Concert Hall, and I know that's really good.
Yeah,
because
I've
my
been
friends
to that.
are doing it.
It's so great. And then we also have Valentine's Day tasting, which is today and tomorrow. It looks like tonight at 7:30 and tomorrow at 7 at the Taste in Provo.
And Valentine's Day in Evermore Park, and Evermore Park's always an awesome place, so it's going to be good.
Yeah, and then we have the NBA All-Star Weekend. Cam, I'm sure you're really excited for that.
Yeah, got some jazz players in there, so it'll be fun to watch them at All-Star Weekend.
Yeah, that's really exciting.
Yeah. And so Taylor, we talked about Valentine's gifts earlier, and so can you tell us what you're getting Reese, or do we not want to spoil it?
You know, I don't want to spoil it because you might be watching this show.
That's
but
true.
Gifts are definitely on everybody's mind right now. Right here you can see the top Valentine's gifts for men. If you're looking for a last minute gift, it looks like wireless charger, an indoor skydiving trip. Oh, I've seen those. Those are really fun.
Yeah.
Headphones, new headphones, a tile key tracker, I guess to find your keys, right, if you're losing them, and then indoor putting course, which I know Reese would really like that, so I'll put that on my list.
Yeah, I actually have an indoor putting course, and so I definitely recommend it if you haven't gotten one for Reese. Let's take a look at the top Valentine's Day gifts for women. And so the first one is a watch, which is always important.
Oh, yeah.
Yoga mat, we know fitness is a big thing. Blanket, it's cold. And camera's
Always
a big
need a
one.
camera.
I know you
Instagram
mentioned you
nation.
wanted a camera, right, Taylor?
Oh, yeah, definitely.
And then a sweater. It's still cold outside, it's still sweater weather, so it's always a good gift.
Yeah.
And so I hope Reese gets one of these things for you. I know he did well when we talked about it, and so hopefully he will.
I'm sure, and then there's a lot of great gifts out there, so lots of things to choose from. Well, thank you so much for watching Upbeat.
And to follow us and see more of our segments, check out us on Instagram at Upbeat Show.
I hope you have a great Valentine's Day.
Have a good weekend.
That's really
Yeah.
funny. I hope this is good.
Yeah.